Good morning, good morning. How are we doing? Welcome up to the live today. I appreciate everybody for joining up. Let's go. Let's get it. Market has been pretty weak so far this morning. Slight movement to the downside. The SPY has shown more weakness than not. As we look at the SPY here, it moved down to around the 684, 685 zone of support. This zone has held up pretty well, even 683 over the past few trading days. There was a good uptrend in play from the low of pre-market yesterday, and we're now actually seeing the SPY starting to break down through that uptrend. Now it's starting to fall down. The uptrend has now broken, so it's more of a bearish sign heading into this morning. Does it mean the SPY has to fall? It definitely doesn't, but it's more of a bearish sign going into today, that's for sure. I'm going to be watching 685 very closely. There's this little pre-market peak just past 685 that I'm going to be eyeing up. If we start to see the SPY rip past that, I think that would be a good bullish sign. But here at open, I'm expecting a lot of volatility. A lot. I think that there's going to be a lot of news coming out the next couple trading days regarding Iran, regarding also the Supreme Court decision tomorrow, and then PCE data. So we have Iran, Supreme Court, PCE all at once. Give me one moment, guys. The wireless thing on my headset is really messing up. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna try to fix it real fast. All right, it looks like it didn't fix it, but either way, it'll be fine. Ding, 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 feel the burn, Jake said. I'm still sad that we're not getting the bell anymore. I don't know what's up with that, with Thinkorswim. Like, why it just stopped out of nowhere. It's crazy. One day, my bell just quit working. I don't know what's going on. I've literally turned it off, turned it on. Everything just does not work. I really wish it did, though, because it's hilarious. Lower highs lately, the good guy said. Looking at lower highs on the SPY as well. Yeah, that has started to come into play here. Ever since the peak from yesterday. We zoom out to like a 15-minute. See that peak and then lower high. More lower highs. Maybe lower high? We'll see. That support zone, though, is critical on the SPY here. This zone has held up a lot recently. If we zoom out a little bit, you can see just how well it's been bouncing off of 676 to 678. That zone has been great, and it's still holding up in a great fashion. It's just, and now in the ultra short term, what's SPY gonna do, right? There can be lots of chop in the short term. Here we go with the little downside action starting to come through here today. Not overly surprised. Lower highs lately. Man, that SPY pullback there is pretty massive. Down to 683 now. It's starting to test that support from yesterday. It just broke through. There we go. Again, there's more bearishness today, in my opinion, with the way that this trend is broken down heading into this morning. Starting to really feel that pressure now, or see it anyways. There could be some scalping opportunities down. Probably won't be straight down all day though. And I don't really expect 676 to test either. I'm looking for either like 680 or 681.50. One of those two levels there. Mason's crystal ball guess of the week worked. What was that on again? I saw it, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, Fig to give it all back. I got you. Figma. Wow, yeah, they did. That's funny, Mason. Oh, Figma. This one's actually pretty interesting with earnings here. It's pretty low. I know Autumn used to love Figma. I feel like there could be some great opportunities there. Right where it closed yesterday. Yeah, you can tell. Like, it looks funny on the chart. Hey, nice, good guy. Yeah, 676 is great. I bet that's been working really well for you. FIG. It's now negative, actually. It's almost down 1% now, funny enough. How's Nvidia shaping up? Down 1% as well, actually. Looking at the daily chart for Nvidia, it's right in the middle of this major chop zone. It's been bouncing off of like 170, moving up to like 194, 195, and then rejecting each time. Let's look at the watch list here. What's leading the watch list this morning? Oxy. Whoa, Oxy's up 9% with earnings, guys. Whoa, Oxy. The oil stocks continuing to shine through here. That's awesome. OXY, ZOM is moving higher as well. Beautiful. That's what we love. These stocks have been on fire in the short term. SMCI's up 6%, starting to gap up again. If we look at SMCI, they recently fell out of a huge wedge on the daily chart. That was a bad wedge to fall out of, but they're starting to consolidate a little bit, and that pop up here today is nice to see. They might be starting a small, shorter term uptrend again. They've done this a few times recently where they've made some good runs. Doesn't mean that trend's going to keep happening, but if it breaks down, you could probably get out pretty quick. Figma's selling now. Ooh, now 3% on the day already. Oops. FIG, 3%. Logitech Gaming up only 0.5%. I guess not that good. The watch list has quite a bit of slow movers on there today. Oh man, I thought crude might be getting through some resistance today. It's testing a critical resistance zone though. This is critical for crude oil here. Crude might be going for a breakout play here soon. That is a big area of resistance. If it breaks through 66.50, it is going to be game on for crude oil and obviously oil stocks. It's already game on for them with how good they've been doing. Really mind-blowing how good they've been. Airline sell-off, Zach W says. You know, that could be slightly negative for airlines. Airlines have been doing pretty good, though, either way. I'd have to say airlines are getting kind of overextended, at least some, like Southwest. Some aren't quite as good as this. You know, Delta it's moved up a lot, but it's not as hot. But I could see him selling a little bit. Wayfair's down a lot. Is that W? Down 12% of they have earnings? Yes, they did. Not the biggest earnings player out there, but... Speaking of earnings, let's reopen that here. Tonight, we're going to see Open Door. I forgot Walmart was today in pre-market. Damn it. I forgot about that one. I didn't really see any headlines on that. There we go, Walmart. Held its ground well, actually. Still moving up. Uh-oh, we might be having some internet problems here, or either that or TradingView is having a problem, but... Looking for some Walmart news here. Here we go. Walmart offers cautious profit guide on trade and labor worries. Uh-oh. That's probably why they initially fell, but they ended up doing good. Yeah, their full year forecast missed Wall Street expectations, citing the need for flexibility in unprecedented times for consumers. Walmart's conservatism reflects the unusual state of the U.S. economy, which is expanding at a solid clip, but seeing little employment growth. New CEO John Furner aims to keep gaining market share by keeping prices low and continuing momentum in online delivery services. Interesting. Walmart moving up, though, 2.5% on the day. Good to see, I guess, if you're a Walmart bull. They did slow down for a few days here. Pulled back slightly. Target was down, too. How's Costco? Because they've been pretty hot. Costco, nice comeback today with Walmart, it looks like. Up 1%. Yeah, yep. Fell down in pre-market with them, too. SPY is like reacting off of that longer term trend right now. It's not looking good, though, the way in which it's more bearish here today. All right, all right. Looking through that Walmart news a little bit more. Nothing too crazy in there. Let's go explore Bloomberg for a second. Almost couldn't get it out.
Today, Junior!
Whoa. Hitting me hard there. Morgan Stanley slashes prices for clients trading private shares. Kashkari rips Hassett criticism of New York Fed tariff analysis. U.S. jobless claims dropped by most since November to 206,000. Came out about an hour before the market opened today. Let's go ahead and look at the 1-minute chart. I don't think that moved very much. Yeah. Not much at all there. The market did start ripping as that released, but not a lot. Like, not a lot at all. Just very, very minor. But looks like the jobless claims did drop by the most since November. That's a pretty big headline to see anyways. New applications have fallen below the 210,000 mark only a handful of times in the past year, indicating that layoffs remain widely low. See a couple charts here. So continuing jobless claims rose, initial jobless claims dropped. But the recurring applications for unemployment went up. Strange. Good morning, Suzuka. Alexander, let's go. G-Dog said, let's go. Watching Microsoft and AMD. Need to hold or break 400 on Microsoft and 200 on AMD. Those are two pretty huge levels here. Wow, yeah, Microsoft right around 400. It's actually chopped around 400 over the past couple days, but I know what you mean, like that zone around 400. AMD, again, yeah, chopping right around 200 as well. 200 is like the midpoint of the range for AMD. Looking at the daily, AMD is on a critical zone of support. It really needs to hold this. If not, it's probably going to fill the gap down to like 170, 172, 173. Somewhere closer to that range. Sold some gold yesterday for $14.40. Your cost was $600. Damn, pew pew, that's nice. Coconut says, LOL at the government data. I go by reality data. It's rough for the entry-level type jobs. Yeah, sometimes Powell, like whenever he's questioned, he'll start to mention things like that as well. Manicured likes the way I say the word crazy. Market's getting pretty crazy out there. PLTR moving 134, 135. Not as good today. Palantir was really popping off yesterday morning. They gave it all back, but today not getting anything going. Let's look at the Mag 7. Switching over. Microsoft. Pretty good. Testing looks like high of the day. It's up 0.47%. Not bad. Google is moving up off of 300. Hey, add that to your list. AMD 200, Google 300, Microsoft 400. There you go. Amazon's right around 200 as well, actually, but right now moving higher. We're seeing SPY actually push back up here towards 685. Seeing a lot of turnaround here on Mag 7. Even Nvidia is starting to bounce back a little bit. Moving slightly higher once again. When the military starts to meet quota, the jobs market isn't doing well. And I think it's a good indication of job creation, the good guy said. Very interesting. I like to hear the thought process behind some of that thinking. Man, that Palantir jump's nice. Coming back well, even though it's red on the day, it's really starting to come back a bit. Let's check URA. I was watching URA off of the support zone, not continuing up today, but it could get there. Looking at it on the daily, it's holding $50 well. I'm looking for it to hold that and eventually pop up here. It might take a few days of chop, though. SMCI was moving well earlier, still has moved pretty well again this morning, trending in a pretty good way. Moving up to 32.10. It's been a little up and down on the way, but overall, nice action. Start the day here. We're about 25 minutes in. SMCI has definitely been one of the better ones. Oxy was beautiful on that opening candle, but gave it back. One sec, guys. Zach said, do you think LUV has more room to the downside? Southwest Airlines down to 53. It's been looking pretty bad today. They've been on fire, though. Yeah, I think there could be more room down for at least another trading day or so. It would be nice to see him test like 52. Would be a nice retest over the next few days. Looks like that's a decent zone of support. That'll be pretty close to where it fills the gap as well, if that's going to fill, so that's another good reason, not why I'm watching that. It's not right on the gap fill, it's right before it, but I prefer that. Man, Tesla's breaking through, or not breaking through pre-market highs, but breaking through pre-market resistance around 408 to 408.50. There was a lot of touches here right off of this zone, and Tesla is really blasting through it here, so keep this one on the radar. Possible scalps to the upside as it recovers. Most people don't join the military until it's their last option, so that means they have been applying for jobs for a while with no luck. Right now, the military is meeting quotas. I see what you mean. Now I see what you're saying, good guy. That makes sense. That makes sense there. Hey, that could always be your fallback plan. I'm sure it is for a lot of people. I don't think I could even be in the military. I don't weigh enough. How's hims and hers today? 4%. Nice jump up to 1650. Good jump, though, by hims. I like it. HIMS. Not bad today. They had a great pre-market move. Was there some news that hit with hims this morning? Because I feel like there was, given that jump. Oh, wow. They jumped on a $1.15 billion deal to acquire Australian telehealth provider. Okay. They're acquiring Eucalyptus. What? Eucalyptus is the name of the company. Interesting. It's a Australian telehealth provider. Okay. Maybe that'll give them some openings into the Australian market. SPY's at 685 now. Pop through. Yeah, it's actually trending up pretty well here. Now watch as it tests this trend line from the past few days. This could be an area where we start to see it reject. Resistance around 680, 650 is going to be tough. I don't really see it breaking through there. It's always possible, but the crystal ball in my mind says no today. Maybe if we see some big news hit, but the Supreme Court tariff ruling is coming tomorrow. I just found the funniest headline. Maybe not the funniest ever, but it's pretty funny. Why New Balance's dad shoes are beating Nike sales as sales surge 19%. Wow. New Balance. That's pretty funny. The 120-year-old Boston-based footwear brand, which is private, exclusively shared its 2025 results with CNBC. In addition to the sharp 2025 growth, the retailer said it could reach its goal of $10 billion in annual revenue by the end of the year. We're competitive, no question about it, but we want to make sure that as we get there and surpass it, that the quality of our business is first and foremost, their CEO said. We don't want empty calories here. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Major footwear brands' annual revenue. Well, I guess while they're seeing good revenue growth, it looks like Nike still destroys them. What is Deck? Brooks Running, On, and Deckers. I've never even heard of those. I've heard of the stock, but not the... I haven't seen their sales or realized that they were, like, just under New Balance and Nike on the list. That's pretty weird. All right. Here's the retail footwear market. Sports footwear makes up like half of it right now. I pretty much only wear sports shoes if you count running shoes as sports shoes. But either way, SPY bouncing off 684.50. New Balance has Shohei. I forgot about that. That's true. Because my friend one day was like, is Shohei rocking New Balance? I was like, I think. I never really paid attention, but he brought that up one time. Deckers are work shoes, are they? Like boots? I've seen ON before on, but let's see Deckers here. Let's go see their homepage. Oh, they make Hoka or Hoika. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And Uggs. Oh. Now I see. You learn something new every day. These Hokas are, I've been seeing these all over the place, like at Dick's Sporting Goods and stuff. I don't know. I stick with my good old trusty Nikes or Adidas, though. Like, where's Adidas on that list? And SPY's breaking out, guys, on the 1 minute. 686 is coming up into play now. Wow, once we got through 684.50, you can see SPY kind of tested that range of support again, and on that final test and confirmation really shot up there. That was a great move here the past couple minutes while I talk about shoes. Yeah, it could be, good guy. It's actually not even green on the day yet. It's still in the red. It's 0.06% away, though. Not far off. Oh, that's good. Good guy. I have seen a lot of workers, nurses and stuff like that, wear those types of shoes. Yeah. My buddy just became a X-ray technician, and I think he has some. Elite says LFG Microsoft. Bouncing in a good way there. Love it, Elite. You must be crushing it on some calls here today.
All right.
That's what we like. All caps, too. I like it. Get some excitement. What do you think about Rivian, Chancey said? RIVN down 15.50, down 3.4%. Rivian and Lucid are tough for me. Rivian's been in a pretty solid uptrend. It's dipping again. My problem with Rivian is where it's priced. If we were buying it right now, I don't think it's the worst dip buy opportunity. It's just you have to cut if it breaks through support. I think you have to. I don't think I'd risk holding it too long, especially with this resistance holding up here. This looks like a bad inverse head and shoulders pattern. Oh God, I better stop. These drawings are starting to look weird. Oh God. You can see right here is a good part of the shoulder. Oh my God, no matter what I do, I can't make this one look good. We'll just leave it like this. You're playing a put on it, Chancey said. Gotcha. So you're just you're looking more intraday. You're not looking to buy up the dip then on the daily. I gotcha. Yeah, looking at the 5 minute today, it has been brutal. I would look for the downtrend to continue. At some point, there's going to be probably a bounce back, but I like it still where it's at to the downside. The good guy says, I sold my SPY calls for $2,000 profit. Now I'm looking for entry to the downside at 693. Okay. So you're looking for a 693 retest here over the next few days. That level's pretty far away. But I don't think it's terrible. Uh-oh, what's this news? Mason just posted up some news about Trump. Ooh, Apple sued by West Virginia for alleged failure to stop child sexual abuse material on iCloud and the iOS devices. That doesn't sound very good. That might ruin Apple's uptrend here. Well, they've already been turning over, but that could add to the turnover, so to say. Let's go find that news Mason posted up. Trump said we may have to take it a step further with Iran. Oof. Trump's making lots of statements right now. Trump said we will find out about Iran in about 10 days. Lots of headlines hitting with Trump here. They can't have a nuclear weapon. We have some work to do with Iran. We might have to take it a step further. Trump said, I think Hamas will give up weapons or be harshly met. We will find out about Iran in 10 days. Trump said talks with Iran are going well. Have to do a meaningful deal with them. We have peace in the Middle East currently. We ordered 22 more B-2 bombers. Stealth bomber overhead. So yeah, lots of little updates here with Trump. Mason said 10 days of uncertainty too long. Yeah, no kidding. 10 days much too long. How's SPY reacting here? Uh-oh. As Trump started speaking, or at least as these started hitting, SPY started dropping a bit. Not the best price action initially anyways. All right. SPY testing 684.50, critical zone of support right now. We could be seeing a bounce starting to take place, but I don't know. SPY's been very choppy lately. I would not be surprised if it broke through here and tried to chop lower We've been all over the place lately. All over the place. I don't think that that's going to change here today necessarily. Yep, there we go. Right through support. 684.50. Broke down again. Now as it starts to move lower, we need to watch for the bounce back up. What's up, Care? I'm going to post a website up for you to go check out. This is where I see most of this news. They take the best Twitter or X sources and they actually put them all into one. If it says you need to pay, just refresh the page and then it'll all pop up again. It's a really good source. Trump said that he just came out with more. Said that we're committed to achieving a Gaza that's properly governed. I don't think that it will be necessary to send soldiers to fight. Trump said he doesn't care about the Nobel Peace Prize. He said Norway's to host an event on the Board of Peace. He doesn't care about the prize. Interesting. 408 to 408.50. Tesla's starting to bounce. I think maybe because he didn't get it this year or something like that, or last year. Something weird. Probably why. Weird headline, though. Trump now said we have to solve a problem with Lebanon. Uh-oh. Sorry, I'm continuing to just watch these headlines come through. Either way, Tesla is exploding. Yeah, for sure. I just threw the link out there. Can you guys see that link? Oh, yeah. Care saw it. Okay, awesome. Awesome, awesome. It's prime beach real estate. Palantir moving higher, 136 plus. Wow, breaking through 135.50. I always said that because people started bringing that up a little bit with Gaza in the past. They were like, well, you could really develop it into like a really nice place and all this. And I was like, my gosh, like, I don't think I'd want to even live there. Hell, in Israel, people fly in on motorized, like, paragliders and come in and start causing havoc and stuff. I couldn't imagine something like Gaza. My gosh. I'd never want to live there. Yeah, I feel bad, though. Whole situation's terrible. Palantir, 136.15. Big resistance overhead. Let's see if we can get a breakout continuing or not. Good to see Tesla and Palantir holding their ground, because some others have started to give it back. Like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft started pulling back pretty hard. Nvidia actually continued higher. Even though the SPY was dropping there, Nvidia kept going. They now have one big red 1 minute candle hitting, but they were doing pretty great there for a bit. They arrested Prince Andrew. I know, I saw that. I didn't really want to try to bring it up too much today, but yeah, they did arrest Prince Andrew related to the Epstein stuff. Is the U.S. gonna do anything? Just curious, besides invading Iran. I don't know. Not quite sure there. That's a good question for Trump. SNDK really is on fire, though. No kidding. Up 5% again today. They're going to use that Venezuela tech again? That was some pretty wild tech, from what I heard. And Palantir's starting to reject now. Same with Tessie. Same with Nvidia. Everything's kind of pulling back now that was moving higher. Starting to weigh on SPY a bit. The SPY chop fest continues to go. They're going to use that Venezuela tech again. That would be very interesting. I'm still trying to figure out, like, what exactly that tech was. You know, again, like, there's some people and sources out there that might not be the most legitimate talking about it, but definitely gets me thinking for sure. Palantir's having some trouble up here. It could continue the trend, but having some trouble. SPY is chopping all around this zone. It's not necessarily running lower, but it's just sitting right around 684.50 still. Might be trying to get a little bit of a bounce going. No telling, though, with all this chop at the moment. I'm really waiting for more big news. It sounds like the Iran news won't really be coming out too much until 10 days from now, as Trump said. "10 days from now will be Sunday, March 1st. Looks like they gave him till the beginning of March. Or whatever. I don't know if he gave him till then or what, but Trump said Iran must make a deal or bad things will happen. Yeah, still looking at these headlines. SPY's still up and down. There we go. Still chopping around the zone. It's getting pretty comical at this point. Every time we see like 2 or 3 green 1-minute candles, you just short it and trade that quick pop back down. It's pretty funny. It's a quick scalper's dream, but let's go look at the watch list. Look at some different names out there. Oxy's been pulling back hard. They ripped it open, but nope. Tempest has been doing pretty good the past few days. Again, today they held up pretty well. They look like they could be a good buy the dip opportunity, possibly here into the ending part of the morning / afternoon. Chewy, CHWI, up 3.35%. Trump using make a deal line sounds goofy in the context of geopolitics. Remember his old book, Let's Make a Deal? Northrop, NOC moving up a little bit. All this Iran news might be getting some of these defense stocks running. NOC's been great the past 2 trading days. Lockheed's moving pretty well. How about GD? Not bad at all. These defense stocks are moving. This could be a sector that you possibly look at here, given everything going on. Good action. You know what else is up? McDonald's. MCD moving well again. 1.3% moving up towards the all-time high. They might get there here just pretty soon. Time to buy some Big Macs, Manicured said. MCD, I'll take a couple today. I'm in the mood. That sounds great. Checking in on Palantir again. I know I keep watching this one, but it's fun to see it rejecting now. 135.50, starting to pull back a bit. Resistance really held up well. SPY back through support. Starting to run slightly lower. Watch it pop right back up. The chop continues. I'm not kidding. Anytime that SPY breaks above a range or breaks under a range today, it breaks it just barely and then immediately reverses. It's pretty funny. It's like on command. The only time we saw a real continuation was right here where I'm pointing. The one spot that I'm pointing to today on the left side of the screen is the only spot where we saw a real continuation take hold. Every other attempt immediately rejected back. SPY almost seems channel-like right here. How's this line up? Pretty good. I don't know. When you zoom in this close on a 1 minute, these channels can be tough. Either way, support's nice. Whatever happened with that? We got the oil, but did we start using it, Care said? Or what about them saying the oil's too bad? It would cost more to distillate. You know, the good thing is that the U.S. has a lot of heavy crude oil refineries, Care. So we have a lot of good ways to take the heavy Venezuelan oil and refine it, which is good. But, man, excuse me. But even though we take it to refine it, right now with Venezuela, there's still a lot of problems really getting their production back to standard. With production not going for so long, a lot of things need to be revamped, be replaced. I've heard it could take a couple years to start to see like really good flow starting to really come through Venezuela. Man, SPY's coming back alive, though, here. 3 good 1-minute candles in a row. The best streak of the day yet. It's tying where it popped up over here, essentially. Let's see if we can get 4 in a row. That would be the first time we saw 4 in a row today. Bring it on, SPY. Wow, really roaring back. Any news? No real news. No real news right now. Just that Trump Iran news. Man, Oxy turned over hard there intraday. Hard turnover for these oil stocks. They did not continue there. Yeah, Northrop's on fire, though. NOC's really going now, guys. These defense stocks are on fire with all this rhetoric with Iran. We talked about this a few minutes ago. Maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. Check out these defense players. They are ripping at this moment. I feel like the entire market has just become a pump and dump, but just trade the charts. That's all we can do, Steven says. It really is all we can do. Trade the charts, trade trends. Maybe find some news, some catalysts to trade as well. But yeah, I mean, you know, you got to stick with what's in front of you. Can be choppy when you zoom in. Oh gosh, SNXX, SNDK 2X long daily ETF. It's up 7.4% today. We have SNDK up 3.9%. Of course, it's a 2X leverage ETF, but Elon just now cut Starlink for Russia. Uh-oh, I didn't know that. Tesla bouncing. They held support. There we go, Tessie. They moved lower, held support in a great way. That is awesome to see him running like that. SPY's been doing great too. Starting to actually come alive a bit. We had the first 4. We actually had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoa, 5 1-minute candles go green in a row. First time of the day, we had more than 3. Watch for that high of day at 686. That is a critical zone of support there. I have 686.50 to 688 being the main zone there, but you gotta watch 686 as well. All right, guys, quick intermission. 1 second. I'm going to go grab a water. We're going to throw on the Mag 7 setup. I'll be right back. All right, let's go. We are back. SPY moving up, 686. Are we going to get the breakout ensuing? That's the million-dollar question, right? Gotcha, Coconut. That makes sense. Wow, Nvidia still was running higher here. Slowed up a little bit, but gosh, it's good to see stocks coming back alive a bit, I guess. SPY's not really out of the chop zone yet, but it does seem to be pointing higher rather than lower from here. Yeah, I know, right, Coconut? That's really the big thing. The longer-term traders see a horizontal line or maybe even vertical line. Possibly even. Man, Tessie bouncing off 408.50. That is a good bounce. It's trying to hold intraday support now. Right up here at the top, which would be a really good hold for the overall uptrend for the bulls. It would help reduce some chop and help keep that directional action going. Nvidia is starting to turn a bit. AMD, big red candle on the 1 minute. They were starting to break out in a great fashion, though. They held $200 in a beautiful way today. Got even above the high of day yesterday, momentarily here for a couple minutes, and then right back under. Steven said, the S&P's pretty much been in the same weekly range, or the same range since October. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if we look at like the trend line, if we look at the first day of October to where we are now, SPY's up 3.3%. That's not too bad. If we look at the peak, it was up 5%. That sounds a lot better. I feel like that we've actually been seeing a pretty good overall uptrend happening. It's just been a slow chop higher, but it has been uptrending in my eyes. You did say ES though, so you're probably looking at futures. Let's see. Yeah, the futures make it look a lot worse, doesn't it? Up around 4.75% at the peak. Up only 2.4% from October. The open. I know that this wedge was something that I was really looking at on ES for a while as it was popping up. Once we saw that wedge and trend break down, that was a pretty bad sign there. ES has really failed to get any good price action going since that point. I don't remember when I typed this out. That would be funny if there was like a date associated to this. No, there's not. That'd be cool if it told you, though. It was probably like on January 20th or something. Ooh, Tessie held intraday support in a great way. There we go. You stopped parkouring, now you just watch the stream. Gotcha. Parkouring can be hard. I think making more calculated decisions is a much better way to go. Go look at some headlines again. I'm looking at some news. Nothing too crazy, though. U.S. trade deficit totaled $901 billion in 2025 despite Trump's tariffs. I don't think that headline's going to be too crazy there. Let's see if it's moving DXY. The dollar did drop a bit there on the 1 minute. Looking at the daily, the dollar had been coming back a bit. How are yields today? Popping back up a little bit. The 20Y. How about the 10Y? Yeah, a little slight recovery on yields. I don't think that this is going to be a big recovery by any means. What I'm actually looking for with yields is for them to hit resistance and actually fall back lower. End up getting lower here as time goes forward. I really think that Trump's going to do everything in his imaginable right to get mortgage rates and interest rates lower. Man, USO2Y. A TLT's been popping up a bit more recently. It did start pulling back, though, but it would be beautiful to see TLT start to truly uptrend again. It's been stuck in this lower range for a long time. Once it does start moving, though, things could get pretty hot for TLT. All right. Alrighty, guys. Well, we're going to have to go ahead and call the stream there today. Sorry for leaving a bit early. We got a lot of stuff to do here today in the background. I hope everybody has a great rest of the morning, though. Pretty interesting start to the day. SPY is all over the place. I don't love the price action here. SPY's up, SPY's down. I guess if I had to pick one direction today, I'm leaning to the downside, given that SPY is rejected off of the trend line. That was a pretty good reaction here again today, this morning. Once we broke through, the downtrend started to come into play, and that confirmation here today is a good sign. If we do end up ripping through 680, 650, you know, obviously we'll have to adapt, but as we go here later into the day, I'm definitely looking for more of a rejection opportunity rather than a big uptrend taking hold. Of course, anything can happen. Watch the news. There could be some wild headlines, but definitely leaning more down. But okay, guys, let's have a great rest of the day. See you later, Manicured. Steven, Coconut, Zachary, Brain, of course, Mason, The Good Guy, Steven, Blue-Eyed Wolf, Cared Music, Degenerate Merc, Olaf, Ramirez, Elite, Chansey, RSB, Zach W, G-Dog, Jack Bradshaw. Love it, Toro. Jake, thank you guys. Let's go. Appreciate everybody. It's already Thursday this week. It's been a short week. Tomorrow's a big day. Don't forget, tomorrow before open, PCE data will release 1 hour before open. Be ready, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. If there's any day you want to wake up early, it's probably tomorrow this week. There's probably going to be some wild pre-market action. What I'm expecting tomorrow, now this is just my personal expectation. I'm going to whip out the crystal ball. I'm expecting the personal spending data to be pretty scary. I'm looking for personal spending data to show that consumers aren't really slowing down, which could be a bit worrying, especially on the inflation side. But we recently saw inflation data come in fairly low, so it's interesting. I'm looking more for a downside move rather than an upside recovery, but of course the data is going to depend on how the market reacts. There can be multiple reactions. There could be a good reaction because maybe, you know, the data helps support lower inflation readings. Maybe the market moves up because it shows that consumers are spending in a better way. It's interesting, right? There's lots of ways that this could go. But other than that, I'm leaving that there with you guys. Let's see how it goes tomorrow and react after the fact. I'll talk to you later. See ya.